This isn't exactly the grand entrance I planned. This is what 3 days of severe chronic pain actually looks like when the pain fog finally lets go of you. It's overwhelming, it's messy, and honestly, I am mortified to be standing here. But if you're struggling to keep up today, I want you to know you are not alone. There's something about the rhythm of washing dishes that always heals me. It brings me back to my sister and I standing on stools at the kitchen sink long before life got this complicated. If I have to face this mess, I might as well take you back there with me to the memories of my mom and daddy and where my story actually started. Let's clean this up together. When I do dishes by hand, it reminds me when I was a little girl and my stepmother, when she cooked, she used literally every pot and pan in the house. And it seemed as though she always burnt something on. And so my sister and I, Carrie, we would have to wash the dishes by hand because it was well before we got a dishwasher. And oh my gosh, I don't know if it's because we were little and the pots were really big and nasty, and there would just be so much to try to get off of those pots and pans. When we would fuss about it, it wasn't a good scene. But now, as an adult, whenever I wash dishes by hand, it reminds me of my mom. It reminds me of seeing her at the kitchen sink. She was one of those moms where you didn't come in the kitchen when she was cooking. She had everything planned out to the very second, every dish that the food was gonna go in. I'm not talking about just for special holidays. I'm talking about every day. My mom loved working in her kitchen. She would get recipes that my grandmother handed down. She would make her own recipes, and food was always divine. The fact that I can overcome the yucky memories from whenever I was a child with my stepmother about washing dishes and taking care of my home and my dirty dishes, it reminds me of something wonderful. My mother. We got these mugs when we went to Oklahoma, and I fell in love with it immediately. And the story behind me falling in love with this mug so quickly was because my daddy, when I was a little girl, he wasn't one of those men that were, I can still hear it, the ice clinking in the glass, super dominant or anything. But when he wanted some tea, he had his glass, he would shake his glass because the ice would rattle around, and me and my sister would race to see who got to fill it up first. We loved our daddy so much. I love little things like this that give such great memories. I wonder if my sister Carrie remembers these types of things. My little brother Dusty as well. We lost our brother Matthew several years ago to cancer, but my little brother Dusty, he still lives in Texas. My sister, she lives in, I want to say Indiana. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. I don't even know which state she's in, but I believe it starts with an I. Anyway, great memories coming from this simple mug, all about my daddy and that clink clink, wanting some more tea in his glass. Good memories. Got this little handy booger when Mama and I were canning about 3 years ago. It was the summer before I had my surgery, and we kept having to pick up dealers for different kinds of vegetables that we were getting ready to can. And I went on Amazon and I found this one, and it has 3 different blades on it. They work beautifully. I know some of you are probably wondering, Patty, why on earth are you using a wash rag to wash dishes? I'll be honest, I've used sponges for years and I can throw them in the dishwasher, but I never feel like they're actually clean when I'm done. I've gone back because I know I can throw it in the washing machine, pour some bleach in there, and kill it that I just washed off my entire kitchen. That's traditional right there. That's a nugget. Keep that nugget. Goodness gracious, I've only been down for about a day and a half. Well, maybe a little longer. This spinal cord injury, man, it sucks. Because living with chronic pain, I know a lot of you out there live with chronic pain, and it's neuropathic chronic pain. So heating pads soothe a little bit. Cold really doesn't do much. It hurts. But the shot helps. But today I got it this morning, And afterwards, you don't have the relief you're expecting right away. I actually feel like I was kicked in my back by a horse. But, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. Can't live in a filthy house. And when I walked out of that bedroom, because my husband was so kind, and I told him when I got home, I'm like, babe, I'm gonna have to lay down because the anesthesia was still there. And so I laid down and I woke up about 3.5 hours later. I tell you, I needed that rest. But wasn't too happy when I came out and saw all of this. There it is. Gotta clean those straws. I want my husband to be proud of our home, because if someone were to walk in that door right now, I would be mortified. And my husband would be mortified. So, you know, take this little effort, clean it all up real quick. I mean, because it's not horrible, but it's just kind of ick, you know. So get these dishes out of the way. This one's my fault, the halogen cooker, because I made something on it last night and I didn't wash it. That's a huge no-no, because it actually washes itself, and I didn't do that. I was in so much pain. When you're in that kind of pain and you can't even think to talk, and all you want to do is just curl up in a ball, because moving, anything touching your skin hurts. Any type of physical activity is just pain. And I was so grateful when I called the doctor yesterday and I spoke with Carmen, and she said, I can get you in tomorrow, because there had been a huge mix-up. I haven't had a shot since November, and I'm supposed to get them every quarter, every 3 months, clockwork, right? It was the day of me to get the shot about 2 weeks ago, and I was dying, man. I was like, oh, I gotta get the shot because I'm freaking in pain. And it had been canceled. Nobody told me. We were literally driving to the hospital to get it done, and they had canceled anyway. So I tried for days and days to get a hold of my doctor afterwards with no luck. Finally, yesterday, I was so grateful that I got the patient coordinator on the phone, and she allowed me to get set up for today. But you want to know a secret? I'm about ready to fire my doctor, because you're supposed to get a phone call the day before you go telling you what time to show up, and that didn't happen. So I called last night and I called this morning, and when I called, they told me I wasn't on the schedule. I lost it. I said, this is the second day I have taken off work to go and get this pain shot so I can get relief. This is not okay. And so the lady at the hospital, she worked magic and she found the right people, and I was able to go in an hour later. And I'm woozy. Anyway, so I finally got to go to the doctor and get my shot this morning, and they treated me like a queen. They brought me a blueberry muffin afterwards. Otis Spunkmeyer, if you know, it's the best in the world. And a soda. And so I left there. My husband was there, and he's so wonderful. God, I love that man. If you're watching this, you are wonderful. Just know this, because you take such good care of me. So I came home and just completely knocked out. Sometimes when you get the shot, it can take days before the pain relief kicks in. Sometimes, not always, this is actually the first time, it can cause great pain right where the shot is at. And so I feel like I've been kicked by a horse in the middle of my back. So as soon as I'm done with this, Nana's gonna go lay her butt down and get right back in that bed. But I don't want him to have to worry about it. He's out there working on pool stuff and changing out coupling things, the pump and all of that. I don't know how to do all of that. So he does the stuff I don't know how to do, and I do the stuff he doesn't know how to do, or he doesn't want to do. But that's okay, because we love each other and it's give and take. He's actually out there washing the windows in the outdoor kitchen. Hold on, I'm gonna show you. There he is. So he's a good man. That's crazy. It heats it up just enough to clean all of the little grates that are down in. So once it's done with this, all I have to do is rinse and wipe. Love this thing. It's like my tiny oven. So unless I'm cooking for a large amount of people, or if I'm cooking cookies or something, I'll use my regular oven. But when it's just me here at the house, because most of the time Eddie's offshore, I use this. This is my oven. This is my whole cooker. It's everything. I actually am so grateful that I found this. I was thrifting one day and came across it at the local thrift store here in Louisiana. And I got this thing brand new in the box. You'll never guess how much I paid for it. So, brand new in the box. And it is a rapid wave Boss thing halogen cooker. Guess, put it down in the comments, how much do you think that I got this beauty for at a thrift store brand new in the box? I will let you know at the end how much I actually paid for it. You're gonna be so shocked. We'll set it for 15 minutes first.